Hi Kendra, nice to see you again. How are you doing?
I could be better, honestly.
Why is that?
Well, I just miss my siblings a lot, and I just had another dream of my mom dying in it again, and yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That dream sounds really awful. How did you wake up or how did you go on about the day when you woke up from that dream?
I woke up crying, and I just have not been I haven't stopped really like crying since it happened because I don't know, it felt real and I miss my mom a lot too, so I'm super sad and scared.
Yeah, well, Kendra, that makes a lot of sense, right? Sometimes when we experience trauma like separation and loss, sometimes, things come up from that's unpredictable, like in your case, dreams, right? You don't have any control over your dreams.
Mm.
And I just want to point that out. And I also really appreciate that you are letting me in on that dream. It says a lot about you showing up even when it's difficult and even when you're experiencing a very traumatic dream like that. It sounds really terrible.
It is terrible, but yeah, I appreciate you like hearing me out on this.
Yeah, of course. And that also, I would like to point out, it says a lot about your strength too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and have you talked to anyone about this or how'd you go about it?
Well, I haven't talked to anyone yet because I feel like there's no real point in talking to someone about it because I feel like no one's gonna listen to me on this. And
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like I'm unheard and misunderstood.
Okay, yeah. So, it makes sense that you feel unheard, especially after going through so much loss, like your situation. Feeling unheard or misunderstood could contribute to us feeling even more sad, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What other emotions come up like when you experience something like the dream you had?
I experience a lot of like fear, like I get really scared,
Okay.
sadness, and I get really anxious too. I feel like if it does happen and I don't get to see my mom again, especially since I'm with my foster family and it's already hard enough to see my mom and
Yeah,
my siblings, so I feel that fear a lot.
that makes sense. Have you had any recent visitations with your mom or have you been speaking to her regularly?
Yeah, I since I have her on my phone, I was able to, talk to her often, and I've had a recent supervised visit,
Okay.
not too long ago, so that was
Okay. And how do your foster parents support you through that? Like, are they supportive when like if you want to talk to your mom, or are they like against it?
they're really supportive, because they understand how my family is really important to me. So
Mm-hmm.
I was able to they were able to let me like have them like my family members on my phone so I can communicate with them freely, like message, call, and and they're even fine with the supervised visits, but so I'm really grateful for at least my foster family being like supportive of me wanting to reconnect with my mom and my siblings.
Okay. Well, I'm really glad that your foster parents are really supportive through that. I think that's kind of like what you need, right? Someone that or a family that's going to support you to reconnect with your family, especially when you're having such a hard time reconnecting and speaking to your mom and siblings. I'm sure fosters, comfort for you, at least in the time being, because I know still the separation is still really hard for you. And I think you said you just feel other than like sadness, fear, correct?
Yeah, fear.
Okay, that also makes a lot of sense. And I just want to make sure that those are kind of like the only other emotions that you're feeling when you feel sadness, just because sometimes when people like are in pain, they develop feelings or thoughts about hurting themselves. Have you had any feelings like that?
No, I don't have any feelings like that. Just only just sadness and fear and just, missing my mom and my siblings.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense. The only reason I'm asking if you have any similar thoughts or feelings like that is because my priority is your safety and well-being. And if you ever experience those kind of feelings or thoughts, please let me know because it is my role to support you, and I want to be able that you have the help that you need. Okay?
Of course, I'll let you know.
Okay, sounds good. I also just want to take the time to validate your emotions because what you're feeling, the sadness, the fear, the anxiety, those are all normal and natural responses to what you're going through, right?
Yeah.
What you're going through is a difficult situation. And sometimes it's hard for us to give ourselves like that type of grace. But in your case, it's very important. And I think you're a really strong person because of your willingness to even show up today and to open up and let me in on what you're feeling and what you're dreaming of. Um, but yeah, please be more graceful with yourself. By being more graceful, you'll, give your body and mind the time to actually process those emotions and, remembering trauma in ways that are out of your control. Like in your case, it was in your dream that you were just like kind of reminded of the trauma from the separation and loss. It could bring up a lot of emotions like sadness, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just want to validate that and remind you that you're a really strong person and that you got this. I know you shared that you feel unheard and misunderstood, but I want you to know that I'm here to listen, okay? Even when those feelings arise. And if you ever feel confused or misheard, just express yourself to me and I could just, put what you're feeling together for you. And we could, go through the process of acknowledging your emotions and feelings together, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to share with me? Are there any updates? How's school going?
School's going okay. I'm still trying to bring my grades up so I can get into a good college and, just be there for my biological family and help them out.
Okay, I think from what I remember, our last session, you said that you were like really into poetry, right? And that you'd be like, you're like kind of writing poetry. Have you finished any of that poetry yet, or is it still like in the process?
It's still in the process. Poetry is quite hard. Like when you read it, it looks so easy and it's beautiful too. But when you try to write it down, it can be confusing because there are like certain words you want to use to make it flow. And I feel like it's kind of hard, especially when you put your feelings in it, it's a little easy, but it's still there. It's still going.
Okay, well, maybe as a grounding technique, next time if you ever do have a really bad dream, I know poetry could be a little difficult and it's like a form of art, but what you can do instead is maybe write out what you're feeling. So if you have, like I said, if you have another really bad dream and you don't know how to process those emotions and you lack the motivation to get out of bed, you could either just go on your notes, right, on your iPhone or on your phone, or if you don't want to use technology, you could even just, maybe lay a pen and paper next to your bed, and whenever you're feeling those emotions, just write out what you're feeling to help process what you're going through. Okay.
All right. So what does grounding mean? This is my first time hearing it.
Oh, no worries. Grounding just basically means so like the key word in is like ground. So whenever you're feeling very uneasy, unsteady, scared, anxious, what you can do is just, you know, allow yourself to process those emotions by doing something that makes you feel, I guess, like connected to what you're feeling. So sometimes like I said, like writing out your emotions could help with grounding because it allows you to be in the moment and to feel what you're feeling instead of trying to like ignore it, right? Because ignoring your emotions isn't going to help you process those emotions and validate what you're going through, right? It's not really practicing grace.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Well, Kendra, that does conclude our session for today. Unless you have anything else to share with me, but I did want to check in and to see if it was okay if I know next week we have a court date. If maybe we could meet if we could meet before that. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that's fine with that. And I don't think I have anything else, but I guess if something does come up, I can let you know.
Yeah, of course. Please let me know, okay? So I could support you through that.
Yeah, sure. I will.
Okay, sounds good. Okay. Bye, Kendra. I'll see you next week, okay?
All right, bye.
Bye.